is playing. Alright, look. Welcome to my second tutorial. I'm going to be talking about the minor scale today, but before I start, I just want to clarify a few things. Last time we were talking about major scales, how to create the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do on every single key. That was good. That was good. The other thing, I'm not sure if I pointed it out, that it's also good to, while you're doing this, you count, right? So you count. So this is my 1, this is my 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So it's good to know those numbers because those numbers are very important, right? Numbers in playing the keys, it's like important. Alright, anyway, it's just important, right? Just know that numbers in playing keys are important. I'm a player who plays with chords and movements, so you know, movements obviously will involve numbers, right? So moving from your 2 to your 3, how are you gonna move from 1 to 6, right? So you probably hear that a lot. Now, in all this, there are two things I want you to know. I want you to note this down before we start. We'll continue with the whole scale stuff. There are what's called flats and sharps, right? Now, flat, right? The little B sound. Now, if you look on my screen here, right? If you look on the scale, this is, remember, C, D, E. Why isn't that working? Oh, sorry. I didn't see that right there. Okay, cool. My bad. Alright. So, look at my screen. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I want you to pay attention to the B, for example. This B. Now, flats, right? A flat means a half step back. That's all it is. A flat is a half step back. So on any key, right, a flat is a half step back. So B, someone says B flat, right? This is B. Remember what I said? Flat is a half step back. So B flat is a half step back. Now, I want you to notice something as well. If you look at that scale, the note B is on the same line as B flat, but what changes is the symbol, right? Okay? Now that's because I've only flattened the B, right? This B and that B, this B is just flattened. It's a flattened version of the original B, right? Because back in the days, musicians were like, there must be something in between A and B. Oh, what's that? B flat. Okay. Now, second thing, which is sharps. Now, sharps are the opposite of flats. So sharps mean, well, a sharp means half step forward or half step going forward. So, so if someone says A sharp. Now, okay, I'll explain later. Now, if someone says A sharp, right? Remember we're on B, right? Now, it's a shame my scale doesn't change that to sharps. If I wish I could, I'll figure it out. But this is B flat. Now, if someone says go to A, right? B, A, B, C, A, right? A, B, C, A. This is A. If someone says give me an A sharp key, right? Remember what I said? Sharp, half step forward. Flats, half step backwards. Just remember that. Someone says give me an A sharp, half step forward, so it's that. Hey, but that's B flat. Yes, you're right, because flat means going back, sharp means going forward. This could be a B flat. This could be a B flat, or this same key can be an A sharp. A sharp. Get it? Yes? No? No? Yes? Okay. Now, let's look at this. Let's look at what are you saying? Like, what are you saying, right? Let me just start afresh here from the scale thing because it's helpful, right? Now, let's look at C. Give me a C sharp. C sharp means a half step forward. There you go. That's your C sharp. If someone says, give me a D flat, right? C is here, D is here, D flat, that means half step back. Oh, it's the same key, right? So the whole sharps and flats thing, mainly it's all to do with the black keys. You know, you don't want to have to memorize all the keys in between the white keys. Like, you don't want to spend your like a whole like week trying to memorize what's in between, right? You just want to know, okay, there is a C sharp, there is an A flat, there is a, once you know those, then black keys are going to be much easier to recognize when you're playing chords, right? Because these chords, right, check them out, they have black keys in them, and there is no way I would remember some of those black keys if I didn't know. If I was trying to construct a chord and say, well, I need to have a G and a G sharp and a C and then a D sharp or something, then okay, right? There's no way I would have figured that out if I didn't know what a G sharp is, right? Or like D sharp or E flat is, right? So I'm not trying to confuse you with the whole flats. Just know that flat means going half step backward, and sharps mean go a half step forward. Just remember that. You don't have to memorize or learn all of these right now. I'll get into it later. Now, back to scales. Major scales were very easy, right? Because all you were doing was using that formula, step, and all that, right? So you were doing the steps, half steps, and stuff like that. That was brilliant. Now, I hope you were counting at the same time, so you know where your 1 was, and where your 5 was, where your 6 was. So, what's the 5 of C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of C is G. What's the 5? Or what's the 4 of C? That's F. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is an F. So I hope when you were playing, you were figuring some of these things, right? So you're figuring like, what's the 3 of C? That's E, right? In my knowledge. So 1, 2, 3. So this is C, D, E. Oh, it's E, right? Now, I hope you were counting these numbers. Why? Because minor scales differ slightly in this scale. So in this major scale that you had, minor scales come into that and they change it a little bit. So what do I mean? The 3rd key and the 7th key are usually the main keys that determine the sound. So what did I just say? The 3rd and the 7th. 1, right? Obviously we need the root, right? We need the root because, you know, that just gives us what key. So if someone says, what key are you in? You know, you can find it. Oh, C, right? Okay, so with your root, right? 3rd and 7th, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Now, I'm not gonna get into constructing the chord because that's gonna come in my next tutorial. But in this scale, right, the 7th and the 3rd are flattened. I want you to write that down or memorize it. Minor keys flatten the 3rd and the 7th mainly. That's the standard minor scale. So, what are you talking about? The 3rd key in that scale, in the major scale that you had earlier, were re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. The do, re, mi, the third key will be flattened, fa, sol, la. The T, which is the 7th key, will be flattened as well, which means it will go 1/2 step backwards. Right. Alright, so check it out. Let's just do the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now this time, we want to do a minor. That's a major scale we just did. We want to do a minor scale. The 3rd and 7th key will be flattened. Do, which is 1, 2. The 3rd will be flattened. So our 3rd in our major is this guy. We're gonna flatten it. Remember what I said, 1/2 step back. Okay, fine. Let's go. Do, re. Now our mi now is no longer this guy. It's gonna be this guy, and we're gonna continue on. And skip this guy. So do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Now we didn't flatten the 7th. So check it out. 1, 2, flatten 3, 4, 5, 6, flatten 7, 8. Okay, that is a minor scale. Now, let me just explain the formula, because this book right here is like a Bible, you know what I'm saying? It just gives me the formulas. I'm like, okay, so that's how it works. But it's clear, it's concise, and it's good. So, what you need here is you need to just write these down, right? So you need to know your steps and half steps. If you don't know that, then just check it out in my previous video, right? So let's do the steps and half steps. This is a formula to this scale. Why do you need this scale? It will all make sense when it comes to constructing chords, like when you want to know how to construct a chord. So, okay, the formula for a minor scale is, right, starting from the root, step, half step, step, so you skip this guy, right, step, step, half step, and then step, half step, step, right? So to quickly run through it, right, from the root, step, half step, 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 half step, step. That is your major. That's your minor scale. Okay, so the next tutorial I'm going to talk about constructing chords from the major scale and constructing chords from the minor scale. It's important you also know the numbers. So 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 8. Or root, right? Subscribe to my channel, and see you in my next tutorial. Peace. Oh, you stop this thing.